Welcome to Celebrating Act 2. Celebrating Act 2 is the user manual for the second half of your life.
Welcome back, everybody. Today, we, as you can see, are with our love and relationship coach, Michele Fabrega. How are you, Michele?
Hi. Hi, Art.
Michele,
Hi,
great
John.
to see you. Great to see you again. I love talking to you. You've got such a good perspective on life, and it's always fun talking to you. And the question I have for you today is fun, having fun together as a couple. Sometimes we lose it. I think we forget how much fun we had when we were dating, and I don't know why. What gets in the way? Life. But we need to have more fun together.
Yeah, I think it's an underrated topic to discuss, to think about, because I think some of us think of fun as being frivolous, and yet I actually think that fun and pleasure, they're nourishment. They're a nourishment to have to, buffer us against, life. Life has its difficult, challenging circumstances, and why not be always cultivating ways to basically, make it light, have fun, laugh more, do fun things together. So I really invite couples who are, struggling, couples who aren't, to always be kind of like upping their game, so to speak, on how they can, bring more laughter into their relationship, have more fun, be sillier, whatever the things that are true for the two of you, either separately or together, keep working it. It's like develop your own stand-up kind of repertoire around how you're going to be more playful together. So,
Go
Go
ahead, Bart.
Go, John.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, then I will go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
It seems that younger couples like my son and my daughter, would certainly be younger, came up with something which was unknown in my generation, which is called a date night. And it's like once a week or once every 2 weeks or maybe once a month. They designated a night that it was like, especially if they have kids, that they go out and they do something absolutely guaranteed so that they don't lose. Because sometimes you get, especially when you get wrapped up with the kids and that kind of responsibility, that all of a sudden 24/7 is home and not paying attention to yourself. So it seems that younger generations have already begun to think of it in that way. But it seems that you're saying that it should be for everybody, and you are a proponent of it.
absolutely, yeah. And date night is a great choice, and that's just one of the ways I guess I would invite people to think of it. It doesn't have to be, it can be just in the momentary situations that you're going through. And so, date night is a great way to designate a night where you're just, we're not going to talk about finances. We're not going to talk about, problems or whatever. We're going to just have fun and be light together. But I mean, there are other things to think about in terms of, one of, think of cultivating nicknames for each other, or if you were a superhero, what would be your superhero name? Or if you were a rock star or something like that, like having these other sides of yourself that you kind of play into, or maybe you role play together, or you come up with jokes around challenges you're having. I guess it's kind of like creative play in a way. It's using your imagination. And I do, I think of like stand-up comedians. I've been watching a fair bit of stand-up comedians lately, and it's just like they can take any life circumstance and find some humor in it. And that's a challenge sometimes, right? But it can be fun to do. You can do it together, you can do it separately, and it's like always looking out for something. I know couples who have gone for chemotherapy treatment for one of them, and they're sitting there watching movies together while their partner's getting chemotherapy treatment, or dancing in the operating room before brain surgery or something like that. You can find ways to kind of just infuse some, even in a really challenging situation, infuse some fun, some lightness, some not taking it all so seriously, because life is serious, and life is also maybe not, like not all the time at least, right? So how can we kind of wake up out of that just regular day to day, whatever we can get into, the rut we can get into, and spice it up.
You know, Michelle, it strikes me that even those things that we consider fun, for instance, going to the movies together might be our fun thing together, or date night together, or maybe going dancing. Even those things that we share that we both enjoy can become rote. They can become habit, and they don't offer the same amount of joy or the same amount of excitement, maybe I'm looking at, that we got out of them when we first started doing them.
Right. Well, you're saying, John,
And
if I'm interpreting, so it becomes so routine that it's no longer spontaneous.
yeah, and where I'm going with this is that I think what you're talking about requires some experimentation. You have to be willing to get out of even in an enjoyable habit, let's say of going dancing together or movies together. Even though you enjoy it, it's become a habit, and you need to try something else. You need to have fun doing something else. It's playfulness, isn't it?
Yeah, playfulness, and definitely if there are things you enjoy doing together, keep doing them, and see what else you can come up with. See what else. Maybe you try a different kind of dancing some night, something you've never done before. Maybe you dress up at home and you do. Maybe you dance in your underwear to some of your favorite songs. I mean, just like, I'm talking full on silliness, whacked, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there was one person I was talking to. They were talking about, they had this whole thing about being cult leaders and what their cult would be about and what their cult names. I mean no disrespect to anybody who's been negatively impacted by a cult, but it's like, it's kind of like that, not taking it so seriously, and like, what would my name be? And so just like allowing that kind of, because I think that we lose track of that. I mean, I think when we're young, we teenagers, whatever, we have, oh, I'm going to be a rock star, a DJ, whatever, all these things. And it's like, why can't we play with those personas now? And just for the pure silliness of it, like just
Sure.
to kind of ignite that playfulness in your partner, because sometimes we need the other person to draw us out. And I mean, one of the things I've noticed during COVID, like with Dave and I, it's like, our humor has actually blossomed during this time because, we're home alone a lot more, and we're just finding ways to find humor in things. And it's light, it's fun. It's so in the moment. I mean, like being able to bust out in laughter together is key, I think it's important.
Yeah, it is important to put a smile on your face, and we can get into a rote, just get into a rut. Even with things we love, we just need to try something different.
Even though I should probably be a little bit angry here, John, I'm really not that angry that you told Michelle about me dancing in my underwear to please you. So, but really, maybe you should have come to me first and let me know that you were going to tell her. But I had two other silly thoughts. Number one, your superhero name, is that like Cupid Chick? What is your superhero name? You're piquing my curiosity there.
Yeah. Well, the one I was using for a while was Roxy. There's something about that name that just sounds like, I don't know, like kind of exotic and sexy and
a little trashy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, but in a good way.
Yeah,
Well, I think as a kid, one of my fantasies was to be one of these solid gold dancers. Do you remember the solid gold dancers?
You're dating yourself. I remember that.
I know I am. But it's just like, there's something about that was just so, when I was a little kid, whoa, like it's so amazing. And so it's like, what ignites that feeling? And I even, I don't know, sometimes one of the things I had to share is like, going to thrift stores and finding clothes that, like, one of those polyester shirts buttoned down to here, whatever. I mean, just enjoy that kind of just anyway, like it's kind of it's almost like dramatic, or it's like stand up, it's like improv. I'm not sure. Like it's some mix of things that, and whatever your flavor is, right? Whatever the two of you are interested in. Maybe you're really into, you know, I don't know, bowling, and so you find some cool outfit that you want to wear to go bowling in, and maybe you do it, or maybe you don't. Maybe your friends will be like, "Whoa," you know, but why not? You know, maybe you just anyway. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just shake it up, and have fun.
Well, I like how you led this off by talking about nourishment, and truly having fun. The Fabrega way is fat-free, guilt-free, and you can have as much of it as you'd like.
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't have to be at anybody's expense either. I think that's a key thing. Like sometimes we use humor and we're making fun of our partners. It's like, you know, don't give them a name like, you know, the farting king or something like that. I mean, unless they're into that kind of humor, then maybe that's okay. But, you know, you want to be kind and come up with your own name there. But
Sure.
I mean, even like, you know, when it comes to aging and stuff, I mean, there's a lot of funny things that happen around aging. And maybe we can like kind of make light of it a little bit. Maybe it's not like, oh, this is terrible. This is blah, blah, blah. It's happening. It's like, wow, this is kind of funny. I don't know. That's my invitation.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we do when the grandkids are over for dinner, we insist that they each bring a joke.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, something is, even if you're not a joke teller and you don't, you know, you're not very good at it or you don't get the humor, there's something about reading a joke somewhere, remembering it, and telling it to other people that is a wonderful experience because everybody laughs or they groan. Oh, that was terrible. You know that, and it's something that you can do at any age, but it goes to the heart of what we're talking about today because it's a little bit of humor, you know, good or bad. You're being lighthearted. You're having fun, trying to put a smile on everybody's face.
And you are constantly reminding us that it's okay to be childlike.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Michele,
Michele.
thank you so much again. We'll see you soon.
For more on Celebrating Act Two, visit our webpage, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and tell your friends. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.